Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the fools, when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compassed them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? The theme of this psalm plainly is the worldly prosperity of the wicked, which the saints must deal with in this life. Hence the psalm is loaded with devotional material. Doctrinally, the ungodly of verse 12 and the wicked of verse 3 is a reference to the Antichrist people in the tribulation. This is apparent by the prophetical end, verse 17, which cannot be said of millions of ungodly people in the church age. But of course there are always in this bad world bad people who success plainly by evilness and wickedness and bad things as much as they have time. But truly God is good to Israel. When? Between 1933 and 1945? Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. See Psalm chapter 24 verse 4. But the man in the text had a clean heart, and God was beating the stuffing out of him. Verse 14. You see, the book is always deeper than it looks. Of course we can spiritualize. We can say that true Israelite is one inside, Romans chapter 2 verse 29, whose heart has been purified by faith, Acts chapter 15 verse 9. We note further that envy, verse 3, came to Israel when they were provoked to jealousy with a foolish nation. Romans chapter 10 verse 19. Envy is uncleanness of heart. Asaph in Christian vernacular is about to backslide, or more properly, get out of fellowship with God. So said. For his feet and his steps are about to trip him up. His stumbling block is envy, the root sin of Satan, Isaiah chapter 14 verse 14. The sin that caused the murder of Jesus Christ, Mark chapter 15 verse 10. Envy is a major cause of backsliding. In the New Testament, it's the mark of the carnal Christian, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 3. The elder brother whom Christ used to picture a law-abiding Pharisee, Luke chapter 15 verse 29, can stand to see the publicans and harlots, typified by the younger, getting saved and celebrating. It eats his guts out. Envy caused the death of Abel, the murder of Naboth, and the attempted assassination of David, 1 Samuel chapter 18 verses 10 to 11, as well as the damnation of the Jews who tried to stop the Gentiles from believing on Christ, Acts chapter 13 verse 45, and 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 verses 15 to 16. Who is able to stand before envy? Proverbs chapter 27 verse 4. You can check Rachel's case, Genesis chapter 30 verse 1. Envy runs rampant among four classes of American opera singers, movie stars, radio or TV announcers and preachers. Any position that puts a man in the spotlight produces envy in sinner who want the spotlight. Examples are too numerous to even list. Many times the motive for building a church, building youth camp, promoting a soul-winning campaign, or building record-breaking Sunday school is simply jealousy. Someone else had won more souls had a better attendance, had better facilities, etc. It's envy, pure envy, and nothing but envy, that supports the lifetime ministries of more than 1,000 Bible-correcting scholars in America and England. The Revised Version, Authorized Standard Version, New Authorized Version, Revised Standard Version, New Revised Standard Version, NIV and New King James Version, etc. Many new translations were produced by one basic motive, and it had nothing to do with anyone understanding so-called anything. It had to do with the fact that every backslidden, dead, orthodox, dry-eyed, God-fishes, apostate, conservative in the world has never been used of God from the day he began to correct the book till the day that he died. So he resented the men in his day that God really used, who stuck by the book. The prosperity of the wicked. I think we can say that richest people in America are crooked businessmen and Hollywood entertainers and different kind of actors and artists. Many other countries following the same example. Their eyes, their mouth, their tongue. In the Antichrist case, see Job chapter 15 verse 27. This literal, the eyes protruding because of a fat face. However, there is the thought that the fatness is a reference to the wealth and good condition of the man. See Genesis chapter 4 verse 4. And because of this wicked man's stare or glare or gaze stands out, the eyes are the index of the soul, for they are the light of the body. Matthew chapter 6 verse 22. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walked through the earth. The first figure of speech is called metonymy, and the second is called prosopopoeia. But the first one is not as figurative as it looks, for the mouth of the Antichrist is open to blaspheme not only God, but those in heaven with him. See Revelation chapter 13 verse 6. The full cup is wrung out to the wicked one. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And his people, and this is apparent from verse 10. You are in a tribulation context again, without the written permission of one commentator involved. His people returned to him, the son of perdition, because his tongue, verse 9, a satanic trinity. Balak, Bileam, controls the TV and radio networks internationally. They return to the earth, verse 9, because they are of the earth, earthy. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 47. They like to observe Earth Day, observe the direct reference to the days of Noah in the passage, verse 11, which all of commentators missed again, Job chapter 22, verse 16.